58 of Speak On It, the Trent Cole episode, the Jack Lambert episode.
There we go.
That's the only two that I could think of off the top of my head that will be worthy enough to name an episode. I'm sure there are more 58s in this world. Those are the only two I can think of. I am your host, Danny Ocean, as always, joined by the smoothest man on the planet, Losty Mix. How you doing, and how is Disney World?
Hey, man, you already know when you see this Nas fade, it can only be one brother, the good brother, Losty Mix. I'm back. You know, my voice might be a little raspy. Disney World, Universal Studios, it was... Hey man, roller coasters are always fun. I forget how much I really, really love roller coasters. And I also remember that there are a lot of people out here that roller coasters scare them to death. And I don't know. I don't get that one, I don't get that one. But nah, man, it was a great trip. Great time to just relax, take the mind off. Boy, I came away though. My feet and calves, lower back, sore.
All the walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was following you on the Instagram, and like you was having a ball up in the world. You was taking pictures with Goofy. You had
it was
Mickey
the
Mouse
Flower and
characters.
Garden Festival. In the spring they have the Flower and Garden Festival in Epcot. So like they bring out all the beautiful grass statues of all the Disney characters. Oh man, it's nice. It's nice.
For the show, you have to show the people at home your Mickey ears with the Spider-Man pointing to each other. That joint was
Nah, look, people, if you want to see the Mickey ears, go follow the kid on Instagram at LosDMix, LOSDEEMIX. I took mad pictures in the Mickey ears with the Spider-Man meme. I actually got mad compliments at Disney World because of those ears. The employees, the other Disney World goers, it was rocking with the ears. So shout out to my Disney World lovers, my Disney World folks out here. Shout out to my Universal folks, because boy, that Velocicoaster
was like that.
Man, roller coaster should not be able to do what the Velocicoaster did. Look, when you get a chance, go on YouTube, type in Velocicoaster, and look at the first person view of that ride. Fam, it's like that.
Didn't they just open it? Isn't that the new one?
Oh yeah, it's the new one. It's legit.
Okay.
It's legit though. It's legit. I fucks with it, but that thing had me screaming like a hoe. Man, look, you know what? I knew this thing was serious because I was literally on the roller coaster yelling, roller coaster shouldn't be able to do this shit, man.
I hope there weren't any kids on that roller coaster.
Oh man, there were mad kids on the ride I was on, and man, I had parents and kids looking at me and laughing. Yo, I wasn't even embarrassed though, because the way you swing, Universal has this one Hagrid's ride that like you going crazy forward, and then it like stops you, and then you go backwards, and then you go into a drop. Fam, don't make me go backwards full speed and then drop me. We fight.
That sounds fun, low key, because I love roller coasters. We shared last week how my dad lied to get me on my first roller coaster, but I love a good roller coaster now. Let's do some house. I love a good run. As always, this show is brought to you by GoingFor2.com. Head over to GoingFor2.com for all your daily fantasy needs. Check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, talk to us about your favorite roller coaster. NBA playoffs are in full swing. Again, head over to GoingFor2 for all your fantasy needs. The football schedule release is Thursday, so you'll be able to start gambling some over-unders, some win totals. Head over to GoingFor2.com for daily fantasy needs. Everything that you need is over at GoingFor2.com. As always, the chat is open. Talk to us. Man, Jamie said, I'm only scared of coasters because I'm afraid of heights, but I still go on them. Jamie, you sound like a black man because I am in the same boat. And then Anthony said, whoever made coasters makes grown men scream and cry.
Oh, fam, if you're not screaming and crying, you are built differently. You're not afraid of anything.
Yeah. We actually at work today talked about roller coasters and how here in Virginia, here your Busch Gardens is to King's Dominion. in
Oh
regards to
man,
roller coasters.
I don't think I've been to Busch Gardens, but I think Busch Gardens they're owned by the same people that own SeaWorld. Am I tripping? I don't know.
Maybe I know they own Water Country across the street,
Mhm.
but yeah, like if you're in Virginia, like Busch Gardens roller coasters are just far superior to King's Dominion. Like the quality, it's not as many, but you're gonna have a blast. And Busch Gardens is a better park. Like there's beer gardens, there's stuff for everyone. King's Dominion is more kind of like kids and teenagers.
So I need to go to Busch Gardens, is what you're saying.
Yes, you do. Anthony has a question for you. What's the ride that goes up and drops you halfway and up again, then drops you all the way down?
I think that might be the Doctor Doom, the little Doctor Doom
Oh
jump.
no, dog. We don't ride anything with Doctor Doom's name in it.
Well, it's on. I believe he's talking about the ride that's in the Marvel superhero island. It's like a bungee sort of John ride, Doctor Doom theme. Um, it's not bad. That Disney had this one ride that was also like that. It was called it's the Tower of Terror. Oh
Yeah,
man,
and that was the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? They closed that and turned it to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, right?
Guardians of the Galaxy is in Epcot. This is what you're talking about is
Oh,
in Hollywood Studios or something. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
It's been a
yeah.
long time. It's been like 15 years since I've been.
Yeah. You got to go to Disney, man. You got to go to Disney.
It's on the list. But D, tonight we're going to talk about any and everything NBA. We're going to talk about the MVP. I have a lot to say about the MVP. Anyone who's listened to this show religiously knows that I am probably upset. Anyone that follows me on Instagram knows that I am still upset. I have a lot to get off my chest. We're going to talk about the Eastern and the Western Conference. We mentioned that the NFL schedule is releasing. We're going to talk about some stuff we're looking forward to. We're going to talk about this code that Ja and the Warriors keep going back and forth over. Actually, Ja's out. He's doubtful for the rest of the playoffs. We'll get into that. Roman Reigns made a big announcement this weekend for all the wrestling fans. Rhea Ripley made, it was a part of the storyline, but still very interesting. D is going to talk about Doctor Strange, and he's not going to spoil it because I have yet to see Doctor Strange. I'm going to sneak out of the office on Friday. I hope my employer is not watching and listening because Friday afternoon, that block on the calendar, it is not a doctor's appointment. It is me going to the VA to see Doctor Strange.
Look at how black folk incriminate themselves. Yo, this reminds me of like when Cole was on Martin's show and he told him he was sick and he got fired on air.
Listen,
Not that you're gonna get fired on air because we don't need that.
well, see, here's the thing, right? Like, I'm trying to go at like 3, right? Because Friday afternoon is gonna be nice. No one's gonna be
Summer
working anyway.
Fridays.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna slide out the back. I'll be on my phone. Like I can still email, but dog, I'm going to go see Doctor Strange because Twitter. I've muted everything, and somehow Twitter is still spoiling some of it for me. So I need to do that before my life is ruined.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, let's get started with the MVP. So yesterday, Nicole Yokoch won his second straight MVP. He is one of a very few elite class of people who have not only won 2 MVPs, but back to back. I believe that list includes Giannis. I think Wilt did it. Steph has done it, and I know I'm forgetting more, but I know those are like the big 3.
LeBron has done it too.
LeBron won back to back.
I think 2012, 2013, but I might be tripping.
Kyle, research. If you're in the chat, please let us know if LeBron ever won back to back MVP. Because he probably did. He's LeBron. Jokic edged out Giannis. He edged out Embiid. But D, overall, like, is the era of the center, the big man, the anchor, is it back?
Oh yeah, it's back. It's back. You know why? Because Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, to an extent, Karl Anthony Towns, to an extent, oh man, who am I missing? Who am I forgetting? Bam Adebayo. These big men who are really carrying a lot of loads for their team, and they're able to do a lot on both the offensive and defensive ends are really taking over, and they're coming back. And hey, man, I know we've been in a guard-dominated league for the last couple of years, but man, it feels good that some of the best players, some of the top 5 best players in the world are just straight up centers, and Jokic and Embiid are putting themselves in positions to definitely be considered top 10 players in the world. They're that good, and the way they can dominate games is unbelievable.
That's a very nice thing that you just said. Isn't I spent the past hour and a half researching, and I've dug up a lot of great nuggets. So first thing,
Oh, here we
yes,
go.
we
You're doing
are.
it. You are not about to slander.
Yes, I am.
Oh, brother.
Yes, I
My
am.
only beef with this is that they didn't announce him winning closer to the regular season so people wouldn't have this anti-recency bias, which I think you are suffering from just a smidge, even though I know you had Joel Embiid winning the MVP for most of the year, which I did too. But I was not mad at Jokic winning. He's rightfully deserving.
In no universe should Jokic have more MVPs than Kobe. He shouldn't. And it's unfortunately the same universe where Steve Nash has more MVPs than Kobe. But not to say that Jokic wasn't deserving of MVP. I just think that people have started watching basketball with graphing calculators instead of their eyes. Let me
Not
walk you
graphic
through.
calculators.
Let me walk you through this Joel Embiid season. Joel, the most games with 40 and 10 ever. That's in one season. That is more than Shaq. That is more than Tim Duncan. That is more than Kareem. That is more than Wilt. That is more than Dirk. That is more than anybody. Joel won the scoring title. He's the first center to win the scoring title since Shaquille O'Neal.
The dominant Shaquille
The
O'Neal.
dominant. We talking about Laker prime Shaquille O'Neal. Since the All-Star break, the Sixers were 16-8. The Nuggets were 15-9. Doesn't sound like much. The Nuggets had the third easiest schedule in the entire NBA after the All-Star break. It can only muster 15 wins out of that. Since the All-Star break.
15 wins. You act like it
No,
was
no, no,
separated by
no.
one game.
But they had
No
the
matter how
Nuggets
we
had the
look at it, they
third
were still playing
easiest
professional
schedule.
basketball teams.
But the Nuggets had the third easiest schedule. Since the All-Star break, Joel Embiid, second in the league in scoring behind LeBron. Nicole Yokoch was ninth. Since the All-Star break, Jokic was second in the league in rebounding. Embiid was fourth. Since the All-Star break, and this is where I feel like Jokic may have distanced himself, Jokic averaged 8 assists a game. Embiid averaged 4. Since the All-Star break, Joel, 6th in the NBA in blocks. Jokic was 15th. The only other MVP in the last 30 years to win an MVP lower than the third seed was Russell Westbrook, and that's because he averaged a triple-double. Jokic did nothing special, nothing of that nature. I know he's the first one. It was like, 2001, whatever that stat was. That's cool, but it's not a triple-double. We keep talking about Nikola Jokic's supporting cast. Embiid did not have Ben Simmons or James Harden for 20 games this year, and he still led the team to the 4th seed in the East. We keep talking about this Michael Porter Jr., right? Because that's what we tell. Oh, it's Michael Porter Jr. Before Michael Porter Jr. got hurt, before he started eating horse paste, he averaged 9 points a game. He doesn't matter. It wasn't going to change anything.
You
Y'all
getting
keep talking.
real full hate on right now.
Yes, I am. I'm hating.
I'm gonna need you to lay off the hater juice.
Nope.
And recognize that Jokic had a generational season.
Nope.
Embiid had a generational season. He was out there without a starting point guard and his starting forward, who is a pretty good player when fully healthy. He was battling that back injury, so I'm not going to hold this season completely against them. Like I said earlier, the problem is they didn't announce this award as soon as the regular season ended because, of course, they went to the postseason and Jokic's team got the gentleman's sweep, and Embiid comes back in the second round and ties up the series against the number 1 seed in the East. Now everyone's looking at it like, of course, this guy's the most valuable player. You see what happens when they're playing. Hey, man, the Warriors look like they are the class of the Western Conference. Look like they're on their way to playing for another ring. So
I got more hate in the chamber. I got the clip is loaded.
You're hating for no reason.
No, I'm hating with facts. And this Jokic had no help. I don't want to hear. Because Joel's best players for the majority of the season,
didn't have any help. What are you talking about?
The shell of Tobias Harris.
The best player on his team was Aaron Gordon. The best player
on
his team was Aaron
because
Gordon.
When Aaron Gordon got traded there, y'all was telling me, oh, yeah, that's the piece.
Who's y'all?
That's it. The streets was telling me Aaron Gordon was the missing piece to a Nuggets championship. And guess what? They lost to LeBron.
I didn't say that.
I don't want to hear. Iverson took Dikembe Mutombo's shell of his body, and Eric Snow to the finals. To the finals, and Yokoch can't even get his big ass out the first round. I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't want to hear this. He has no help. Iverson took Aaron McKee to the finals. Aaron McKee. I don't want to hear this. He doesn't have help. I'm tired of it.
Listen, Luka just got to the second round this year after getting significant improvement by his starting backcourt member and other pieces around.
He's not playing with another all-star.
Yes, he is. Jalen Brunson's a future
all-star.
all-star.
Brunson is not an all-star right now.
Next year, I'm calling it right now. I'll bet money on it. Let that hate go. Ain't no money there.
No, I got some more facts. Let's see. We talk about Vorp, right? The Vorp dorks. But Jokic's Vorp is with a Yokoch was first in Vorp. Joel was third. Shut up, Vorp dorks. I don't care. I don't care about this.
I don't even know what Vorp is.
Vorp is a stat that these nerds are using to justify that Yokoch is the MVP. I don't care about his Vorp. I don't care about his Raptor. I don't care about any of that foolishness.
First off, don't ever say you don't care about another man's Raptor to me. I just don't like the way that sounds.
Okay.
I just don't like the way that sounds.
And another thing, I keep hearing, Joel's not Joel, Jokic's true shooting percentage. Let's look at true shooting percentage over the Rudy Gobert's first in the league in true shooting percentage. Jared Allen is second. Montrezl Harrell is third in the league in true shooting percentage. Are they in the MVP conversation? What does that sound like to you?
Certified buckets.
Yeah. Are they MVPs? Huh? You know what I saw? And again, now this is hate. I saw the Golden State Warriors look at Yokoch and said, that's the mark. We're going to eat his ass alive, so much so that the Nuggets had to sub him out at the end of the game when it mattered because he can't play defense. I know those defensive statistics say he's good, but I saw the Warriors say, that's the mark. Put him in a high pick and roll, and we're going to eat him alive. Meanwhile, I saw Joel Embiid pick up Oladipo for a possession and put the clamps on him because he can move side to side. My eyes say that Joel Embiid is the most dominant center and the most dominant player not named Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I think
and Jared, if you take Joel off the Sixers, they're the Magic.
Jared. If you take Jokic off the Nuggets, they barely win 15 to 22 games.
If you take Embiid off the Sixers, they're the Magic. What are we talking? Like y'all sitting there telling me, oh yeah, Tobias Harris. What the fuck Tobias Harris gonna do?
Hey, Tobias Harris is a good player.
You're talking about some fucking Danny Green. Like, what are you talking about, man?
All I'm saying is Jokic has a justified reason to be MVP. So does Embiid. I'm with you. Embiid. If I would have had an MVP vote, I would have voted Joel Embiid. But I'm not mad at Nikola Jokic. He had an incredible season. He's an incredible player. Hey, he edged out another incredible player. Jokic winning the MVP doesn't mean that Embiid wasn't the MVP. It just means he got more votes.
It means we need to stop watching basketball from graphing calculators. Stop it. I don't care about another man's VORP. Leave the VORP alone.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay, don't ever say you don't care about another grown man's VORP. That's fair. I don't even like the way that's the way that's being delivered. Another grown man's VORP.
VORP
research. Kyle, how's it going?
Joel Embiid is the most dominant player not named Giannis, and he should be MVP. Stop watching with your TI-83. What do your eyes tell you? Can anybody give me one impressive play that Jokic did this year? I can think of a few dunks, a few threes Joel has made. Give me something Jokic has done. Show me something where he's dominant. Give me something. What do your eyes tell you? Stop watching with your TI.
The eyes tell me that Jokic and Embiid are both MVPs in my eyes.
My last point, usage rate. Joel's usage rate, second in the league behind Luka. The VORP Dorks usage was 10th. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear your advanced stats. Advanced stats have their place in the game. Don't get me wrong, because I love a good advanced stat. But what do your eyes say, man? Like, there has to be context around this. You bragging to me about his true shooting percentage. Meanwhile, Jared Allen has a better true shooting percentage than Nikola Jokic. Would you say he's the MVP? I would not.
I think
Jokic doesn't win. That's his only stat. That's the only thing that matters is winning. Someone is at home right now for the second
he was
year in a
still
row.
he was a top. What was he, a 6 seed?
He was the 6th seed, and they stayed at 6 all year for the most part.
Westbrook was a 6 or a 7 seed. He just
Westbrook was a 6th seed when he averaged a triple-double. That in the last 30 years, those are the only two guys who have won MVP lower than the 3rd seed.
They both had incredible seasons. Jokic damn near averaged a triple-double.
Dog, and you know what? We're going to go to the playoffs in a second. We keep talking about Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray averages 16 points a game. Jamal Murray is not a game changer. Jamal Murray is not a top elite point guard. Jamal Murray is not the guy y'all telling me he is. Y'all, if you have Murray and Michael Porter Jr., okay, so you're not the 6th seed, you're the 5th seed.
You really getting your hate off today. I respect this master class in hate.
No, they talk about Jamal Murray like he's Steph Curry. Well, when Jamal Murray get back,
he's a great young player. You saw what he did in the playoffs.
In the bubble.
Here we go.
Listen, last time we saw good Murray is a good player, but he's not elite. Y'all talking about Murray. You know, I even sat down to this because I knew this was coming. I ranked my tier 1 and my tier 2 point guards or ball.
Here we go.
Tier 1, Steph, Dame. You can put Luka in there if you want to count him as a guard. Kyrie, Trae Young, CP3, Ja. Tier 2, Melo, Murray, Holiday, Mitchell, Lonzo. That's it. Like Murray is not the guy y'all telling me he is.
I think
Murray's not even an all-star in the West.
I think you need to move Drew Holiday up.
Okay, that's fine. Jamal Murray is not even an all-star in the West. He the 4th or 5th best guard in the West. What he gonna do?
That's saying a lot.
Steph, Dame, Luka, Ja. Then maybe we have a little room for Murray. No, I'm talking about DeJounte Murray. My bad. Wrong Murray. Kid in San Antonio. I'll take him over Jamal Murray. So that's 5. You can put him with CJ McCollum, maybe. Jamal Murray not the dude y'all
that's
telling
still
me
a great.
he is.
You act like that's a knock.
It's not a knock. I'm just saying he's not the dude y'all telling me he is. He not gonna come in and set the world on fire.
Hey, brother. He's a very good player. I think when the Nuggets get him back, mix him back with MPJ being back with Jokic, they're a good team. This is a team that was in the Western Conference Finals just 2 years ago.
And then they're gonna get bounced in the first round again next year, and then I'm gonna hear another excuse. Well, Aaron Gordon's braids weren't straight back. Aaron Gordon cut his hair. That's why they lost, but it's Vorp.
Okay, what does cutting hair have to do with anything?
That's what I'm saying. That's what Nuggets, they say the stupidest things that justify their failures. Your MVP couldn't get out the first round for the 2nd year in a row. Leave me alone. You want to talk about the playoffs? I'm done.
You done with this masterclass in Hayden?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's move to the Western Conference.
Your head off.
I am getting my head off. What time does Jokic play tonight, guys?
Yeah. Let's talk about the Western Conference playoffs.
Okay. All right. So last night the Warriors went up 3-1, and tonight on the Grizzlies, after a really ugly shooting performance in Game 4. The Mavericks have tied it up with the Phoenix Suns at 2-2. They play tonight at 10 o'clock after the Mavericks defended home court. D, on both series, on the Western Conference, what are your thoughts so far?
Let's start with Memphis Golden State since they played last night. I was wrong, and it was spooky. I didn't know Memphis would be without Ja Morant for what's looking like the rest of the postseason. So I will say I didn't anticipate that. But, man, Memphis is a really young team, and Golden State is just that veteran, experienced team. I know it's given Memphis fits. I think this ends in 5. I think they go to Memphis and handle their business. Dallas, Phoenix, I was worried. I was worried for a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
But these last couple of games in Dallas, I think Jason Kidd has a game plan that I think matches up well with what the Suns like to do, and I think that's caused these last 2 games to be very difficult for the Suns and that team, and allowed the Mavericks to tie it back up. I think I'm not ready to say yet that I think the Mavs are going to win this in 6 games. I know I said the Suns in 5 before, but I think I'm gonna move that to the Suns in 7. now.
Okay. I am with you on the Grizzlies. I think like Ja's hurt. The bet that you know who's really happy about Ja being hurt, that's Dylan Brooks. Not Dylan Brooks who's going to shoot everything. That man last night, as soon as the ball touched his hand, it was in the air. Dylan Brooks is really happy right now, low key, even though he'll never admit it. I think you're right. I think the Golden State Warriors finish off Memphis tomorrow night in Memphis. I will say though, this Warriors team is not as solid as I thought they were. I think Clay is still feeling the effects of that knee. Draymond refuses to shoot for some reason. And I feel like the Warriors are really
For some
relying.
reason, when has Draymond ever been a shooter?
I mean, Draymond has taken the open three before, but now it seems like he's really hesitant to shoot. Maybe it's his back still affecting him. I think the Warriors are too lenient on Jordan Poole right now. I don't think he's going to give me 25, 28 a night. And if that's what you're relying on, you're going to lose more times than you win. You're just fortunate you're facing a team that doesn't know what they're doing because they're all under 23.
They are wet behind the ears drinking Similac this season.
And you can say that about them in 2 more years, right? Like that is a really young team. They've kind of overachieved this season. I'm really excited to see how they do next season with the target on their back because that's a different animal.
I guess where do the Grizzlies go from here next year, do you think?
I mean, so they're going to be like, well, we weren't healthy. So they're probably going to run it back. Is anyone due for a payday? Like, this is Ja's third year. You don't have to pay Ja. Like, is there anyone up for a payday? Like, I haven't heard any, reports about so-and-so is looking for a max contract.
Or maybe they just bring in a new vet and release someone.
Yeah, like maybe get rid of Steven Adams because, well, he's in COVID protocol, but he wouldn't do much in this series anyway. They would run him off the floor. Back to Phoenix and Dallas. I am not going to lie. Those 2 games in Dallas kind of felt like a fluke. Like they hit all those threes in the first half, game 4. That won't happen again. Chris Paul's not fouling out of another game. I think tonight, Devin Booker and Chris Paul have a master class. Do I know if it's enough? I think it might be enough. I don't think those threes are going to fall like they did in Dallas. World players play better at home. I think this is going to be like games 1 and 2. Luka's going to go off, but everyone else is going to go cold. I think Phoenix wins in a close one. I'm with you. I'm taking the Suns in 7. Unfortunately, I'm not there yet. We haven't seen, like when Luka goes off, they lose, and Luka doesn't trust anyone enough to pass the ball around because the other 2 games they've won, Luka gets in foul trouble. He goes to the bench. The Mavericks go on a run because they're moving the ball, and it's not dribble, watch Luka, and then it's a 3 with 2 seconds left. So I don't know what the answer to that is. That is the answer for the offseason. I think tonight we see a Devin Booker and Chris Paul masterclass. And DeAndre Ayton, my God, son, if you want this max contract, you can't be letting Dwight Powell dominate. You can't let the Mavericks dominate the glass. You're the biggest dude on the floor.
Nah. The Suns do a good job. I mean, not the Suns. The Mavs do a good job of getting those offensive boards. I just think it's funny that DeAndre Ayton, like you said, should be a max contracts player, and the team is seriously just like, nah, fam. Like, we think we might be good, but we don't know for sure yet.
Yeah, and then like I said, the Chris Paul thing, like he got in foul trouble game 3 and 4. He fouled out game 4. Like I don't think that'll happen again, unless they bring in Scott Foster, which they might.
Oh my goodness. Yo, CP3 versus Scott Foster. He's what? 0-13?
He's lost everything. I will say this though. He loses the point guard label if he blows another 2-0 lead. Like if the Mavericks win this, that'll be like 4 or 5 series where Chris Paul's had a 2-0 lead and lost. Point guard label is
you shouldn't underestimate and doubt Chris Paul's leadership and the power that is Chris Paul's leadership, because you know it is the 6th man on the court that the media is always talking
about. Let's shift gears to the Eastern Conference. Celtics last night. Jason Tatum said, "Hello, I am a superstar," and they tied up last night in Milwaukee. Basketball. I can still play basketball, even though I went to Duke. They tied it up. Against the Bucks, that is tied 2-2. The Heat and Sixers are also tied 2-2. They play tonight. D, what are your thoughts on these series?
With 2 series tied up 2-2 and in the East, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see one of these series going to 7 games and one of these series going to 6 games. I think the Bucks are going to win in 6. I think the Sixers are about to mess around and win in 7, in all honesty. I think with Joel Embiid back, I think the Sixers have figured out a recipe for how to attack Miami, specifically inside the paint, where they're just a bigger overall team. I like the guy who's come back and made an immediate impact. That's Joel Embiid. So I like the Sixers in 7 against Miami, and I like the Bucks in 6 against the Nets.
It's crazy what can happen when the MVP comes back, how it changes the entire trajectory of a series. Jared, to your comment, the Sixers are going to win tonight, and we're going to get a Joel Embiid masterclass. Joel Embiid, he is going to drop 40, whatever the FanDuel is, whatever the DraftKings is, the over-under on points for Joel, take the over. He is going to, yes, he is going to feast on Bam tonight. Bam was doing great in games 1 and 2. Joel says, all right, daddy's home. We ain't heard from Bam since. I'm with you. I think Sixers in 7, and I think Bucks in 6. Giannis is the best player on the planet right now. He's the most dominant thing, in my opinion. And I know I've said this, and normally catch some heat. He's the most dominant player we've seen since Shaq. He is not Shaq in regards, but when Giannis takes over a game, no one on this earth can stop him. No one. There's no defense. There's no Giannis stopper. It was PJ Tucker. He ate PJ Tucker alive.
Someone said that's because Giannis just does the halfback dive on every play.
If you can't stop it, like I used to be that dude. I used to be go gadget dunk. Can't stop it. You knew Shaq was going to put you in the paint, 2 dribbles and dunk on you. You couldn't stop it. You know, I saw a tweet and it was funny. It was like all these people clamor for more physical basketball, like from the 80s and 90s, and then Giannis gives it to you and y'all calling the ref and the police.
Yeah, now that I agree with. Yo, stop complaining about Giannis being too physical. Let me tell y'all why. He's just, bigger than everyone.
And he's more athletic. And it's beautiful to watch. Like, I used to be a Giannis hater. I'm here.
He's a gazelle gracefully gliding up and down the court, and you can't stop him. Your favorite player can't stop him. Your favorite team can't stop him.
Your favorite coach can't stop him.
Yo, you remember that Pat Bev, Lou Will post-game press conference about Kevin Durant after the playoffs?
Oh,
what
yeah.
They say? They was like, I promise you we tried. I promise you we tried. Like, that's what it'd be like, yo. And everybody, and little Adam X6969 from Twitter's over here telling, you know, professional all-pro NBA players how you should have guarded X, Y, and Z. Like, yo, who are you? I promise you, we tried.
Joel Embiid is the most dominant player. I'm not Joel. Giannis is the most dominant. Like, he is Shaq-like. And Kyle, that is a good take, but I still stand on my Jamal Murray take, and I will continue to stand on that. Some good news. Monty Williams gets his comeuppance, and he wins
Coach of the Year. Well deserved, is it not?
It is well deserved.
He won it last year, didn't? Because Tibbs won it last year.
Yeah, I mean, look where that got you. Never invest in the Knicks, people. They won't do anything but hurt you in the end.
How many black men have won Coach of the Year?
That's a great question. I have no idea. That is a question for Kyle.
Well, shout out Monty Williams.
Especially after, and of course, in New Orleans, his wife died. Like, that was a tragedy. Now he's the Coach of the Year, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
You and I touched on this at the beginning of the show. We keep hearing athletes talk about this code in the NBA. I think it started with Steve Kerr. Dylan Brooks fouled Gary Payton Jr., broke his arm, and Kerr said he broke the code. Jordan Poole reaches for the ball, hits Ja's knee. He comes back. Ja tweets, broke the code. I think he's mocking Steve Kerr. Why are we talking about the code so much?
The code, I believe, is what the NBA players refer to, the code of the Brotherhood of the NBA, to protect the health, because guys need their bodies to make money. Yeah, these aren't dirty plays. They're just plays that are happening very fast in real time. These aren't dirty plays, though. So we got to stop.
The Dylan Brooks one couldn't, like, he hit him in the head against Gary Payton.
Well, he was also going for the ball just mad aggressively.
Yeah, I don't think he's a dirty player. It was just a bad play. I'm with you. This code stuff, like, Jordan Poole did not reach at what's his face, at Ja's knee. He was going for the ball. Like, Come on, man. Like that wasn't dirty. I think
Now, what
Ja,
part of the code was Giannis grabbing Jalen Brown's neck yesterday?
that was funny. Like
Jalen
Giannis was
Brown
like,
said,
"Come here,
"Get
boy."
your hands off me, you heathen! Don't you touch
Giannis,
me."
Giannis said, "Come here, boy. Let me talk to you for a second. Who you bucking at?"
He said, "Who you talking to, young whippersnapper?"
um, yeah, I'm with you. Stop talking about this code.
It's some
Suns
bullshit.
fan. On Mother's Day, a Mavericks fan got a little handsy with Chris Paul's mother and his wife. D, when fans gonna learn this?
Charles Barkley said something interesting. He said, "Yo, the best way to handle this is to bring everyone down the center court and make them say it to your face again. Then allow 5 minutes for with no civil suits, no police, and let some of these people just get their ass whooped." And you know what? I think that'd be good. Y'all got to learn that these are regular people too. So if you wouldn't say it to their face, I don't think you should be saying it. Punk ass motherfuckers.
Perfectly said. I will say this: NBA hire Ron Artest, hire Rasheed Wallace, head of security for players. Number two, what we really need to happen, we really need to let another Malice happen. Like we really need to let a Malice in the Palace. We need to let Boogie Cousins walk in the stands and cold clock someone and send them to Jesus. Because after the Malice, like fans are pretty chill for like 10, 12 years. Now
It
you
was
got
like,
these
yo, we
kids.
do not want to mess with these kind.
Like now you got these kids who weren't there for Malice who starting to act up. Let Udonis Haslam walk in the stands and handle it.
Yo, some days I go back and I rewatch Mouse and Palace, the video footage, and I'm just like, yo, do you know how dumb you got to be to really make an NBA player this mad in his own work settings?
Yo, did you see that boy's face when Chris Paul's like, "I'll see you later"? He put the fear of
Man,
God in that
he
boy.
was talking to God. He was ready to go to his priesta, his sin man, and be like, "Yo, please,
How many
please."
Hail Marys do I got to say to save me from this ass whooping?
Man, he was praying to God, Jesus, Jehovah, Buddhist. He was praying to everybody, asking, because if Drake want to find you, he gonna find you. And if you want to really bag your girl, he gonna bag your girl. Oh man.
Yo, that story was wild. Anthony, you're right. Better security is needed. That story was absolutely wild. The Drake joint.
Yo, fellas, if you troll someone and Drake responds saying, "I'm gonna follow your girl, she needs some excitement in her life,"
you out of there.
Go ahead to the ice cream section and see if they got the chocolate M&M cookie sandwiches. Because you out of here, big dog. It's over for you. She getting you the fuck up out of here, brokey. That's what she gonna call you on the way, brokey. Fellas, you cannot take her on a date to Dodger Stadium. Most of you can't even take her on a date to an Italian kitchen. Get out of here.
Y'all can't take her on a date to Dodger's chicken.
Some of y'all out here at Long John Silver trying to take your shorty on dates. Please do not try to troll Drake.
Let me ask you a question.
Reigns is hinting at the next stage of his career. A house show over the weekend. He was thanking fans and just said as he's moving on to the next phase of his career. What do you think about this?
Someone offered him John Cena spot in Fast and Furious, and he took it.
Oh God. They already put Roman into one of the previous Fast and Furious with The Rock. Man, this is some old shit, man. Listen, Vin Diesel, please let this movie go.
Nope. I love them. They're so funny. Did you see the recent one? Have you seen the most recent one?
I don't think I have. I'm trying to think.
With John Cena.
I'm trying to visualize and I can't. I don't think I've seen it.
I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a scene when Vin Diesel's running like on rooftops, jumping building to building in Tim's and some carpenter jeans. It is the funniest shit. And
is that the one where he stomps the garage and it levels and it falls?
No, that is also funny. That is like 4 movies.
Yo, look at us knowing how many terrible Vin Diesel scenes are in these movies. Yo, Vin Diesel, you are stealing fucking money. This series is stealing money. This shit's not even about cars no more. Why? No. This shit is so far from car. Why are y'all driving Lambos on ice?
The Rock gets out of his truck and takes a nuclear warhead. And it's like, no, it goes over there.
You know who didn't disappoint on movies? Doctor Strange.
Yeah, talk. I haven't seen it yet. So, what were your thoughts on Doctor Strange?
Make sure you watch WandaVision. Make sure you watch The Last Doctor Strange. Make sure you
Okay.
watch the What If series on.
See, people, I've heard that from a few people. I watched the first episode of What If and I fell asleep.
It's
Like,
actually, I thought What If was very good, and it'll explain a lot about what's going on
okay.
in the Multiverse of Madness. What If was really good. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness was really good. And I will say this: Wanda put up Joel Embiid numbers.
And Doctor
Wanda
Strange still
Maximoff.
gets all Doctor Strange gets the credit like Yokoch. Is that what you bet? Is that the second part of that sentence?
Nah. Wanda put up Joel Embiid numbers. It's a little bit darker movie overall, but I like where they're taking Marvel. I like where Anthony.
Let me ask you a question. And this was not
Yeah.
in the notes, but you are a music head, and I appreciate your music advice. Is the Jack Harlow album that bad, or just people hating on Jack Harlow?
You know Twitter does this thing where hating is cool. I've been bumping the Jack Harlow album. It's smooth for Jack Harlow's sound, what he likes to do, the pockets he normally finds on beat. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Okay.
They just hate because it's Jack Harlow and they need someone new to hate, which should tell you a lot about the people on the internet.
I don't know, man. Like seeing him at the Kentucky Derby, having those two black dudes carry him over the mud so he can get his shoes dirty, that just felt wrong.
Yo, Bam McGee said without Fast and Furious, Tyrese would be back on IG crying about his baby mama.
You a cold piece. He also said he put $20 on Joel 40 plus. That is a good. Actually, Bam McGee is my cousin Blake. Blake, that is a great bet. And when you win that money, make sure to send some of your boys' way. He's actually getting married in July. Congratulations to you and your
Hey, love to hear it. Love to hear it. Yo, speaking of going places, is Young Thug going to jail?
Young Thug going to jail.
They got him on RICO charges. Do you think he's really going to jail?
You and I talked about this before it came on air. The feds do not come knocking unless they got enough to put you in jail or enough to flip you to get you to someone else. Like this isn't Barney Fife coming to your door because your tail light was at a murder scene. When the feds come, they got something, and they got something concrete.
Thugger, I hope. Yo, man, I hope your lawyer doing double time.
Yeah, your lawyer gonna have to put up Embiid and Yokoch.
Thugger, I'm here for you, man. Well, not really. I don't want to be involved, but I'm hoping. Yo, I was listening to On the Run. Young Thug got this song called On the Run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to it different now. He also got this song called I'm Scared. Oh my goodness. I'm listening to it different now.
Listen,
he was on the. Apparently, the DA in the case though is using song lyrics. They also say they might have a little baby. They already took Gunna. Something about this says it's a whole lot of fluff, whole lot of tomfoolery though.
And it's crazy. And I saw this on Twitter. The baby out here punching women and shooting people in 4K, walking the street.
The baby's case was self-defense. I don't know about him punching.
Did you see that Walmart footage? Someone found the footage of that and put it on Twitter.
They came at him first.
I'm not saying he's innocent and he was guilty. I just know every week it looked like
someone getting ready to pour the heater, so he beat him to it.
I'm saying every time I get on Twitter, the baby punching somebody in the face.
Well, that's because he hasn't been making the best decisions as of late. I will give you that. He has not been making the best decisions as of late. How about this? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, how about this weekend on Saturday? All of this week, I'm going to be in D.C. because it is my birthday on Saturday.
Oh, turn up, D.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What you got
planned? It's up and it's stuck if you're hearing me.
Don't ever say that again. That is in the same part as Vorp, asking about another man's Vorp.
Nah, I think Vorp is wild for many reasons. Don't ever speak to me, and the way you said it. I don't want to hear nothing about his Vorp. Like, whoa. It's like you're oh man. Before Casey, Mike Brown won Coach of the Year in 2009. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
And I am enjoying hockey. Rock Druss is in prison, Hey man, he said he said he wore that dress because he had a stick up underneath it, and he don't mean the wooden stick. He had the AK up under that thing.
He gonna need it. Listen, man. Like I said, Feds don't come after you unless they got some. Kyle, I'm loving hockey. You should watch playoff hockey, D. Like I watched it Saturday.
I might.
I watched the Panthers and Capitals. I did not know Alex
I'm gonna have to be
Ovechkin
a
was.
Capitals fan since I'm in the DMV area.
Oh, Anthony said, "Where you popping bottles at?"
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where we're going yet. I'm getting dinner on Friday, and then it's up and it's stuck. So I'll be at a few day parties, a few brunches in the city. So it's up and it's stuck.
You know what I'm doing on Saturday?
What you doing?
Painting my bathroom.
Gangsta.
Fun times in the Ocean House.
Gangsta.
D, do you have
Luka
anything else?
For 30 and 10 tonight?
Yep, Luka. Again, I think it's gonna be one of those. Luka goes off, but he gets no support. Threes aren't falling tonight.
I think the game is on right now. Let's see.
Mavericks play at 10. It should be Sixers Heat right now.
Let's go. Right now, it is the women's gymnastics NCAA. So shout out to my gymnasts out here. I see y'all.
Sir.
Right now, the Heat are up 28-19.
Okay.
My TNT channel is always a little funky, and I don't know why. It's always giving me trouble.
All right, let's see. Let's see how many points Joel has right now. Because Joel has 4 points. I need more than that. I need him to get.
Okay, Shaq. Yo, what do you think about Rudy Gobert saying he could lock up Shaq?
What is Rudy supposed to say, right? Like, what is Rudy supposed to say? Like, is he supposed to sit there and let Shaq just drag his name through the mud for 6 years? Like, at some point, he has to say something. Like, what else?
Let him know, like, hey, I ain't no bitch either, Shaquille.
Yeah. You know what, Anthony? I am a proud husband.
Do you think Rudy Gobert could lock up Shaq in his prime?
Hell no.
Okay.
Rudy is Chris Dudley.
Oh, brother.
Compared to Shaq.
Oh, brother.
For the kids who don't know what that is, Google Chris Dudley and Shaq, and you'll get it. Wow, the comments are blowing up tonight. Y'all are really active tonight. Doc Rivers on the Coach of the Year.
Anthony said Danny sounds like a proud marriage husband with kids painting the bathroom. Yeah, he is a happily married brother man.
Yes, this bathroom has been a thorn in our side for like 6 weeks, and we're almost done.
That's 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's been quite the undertaking, but it's all good. D, where can the people find you?
People, make sure y'all hit the follow on both IG and Twitter. Keep up with a brother. Keep up with both myself and Danny. Make sure you follow me at LosDemix. That's LosDeemix on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you also follow the pod. That's @speakonit_pod on Twitter and IG. Stay up to date with us. We're trying to build a community, so make sure y'all just if y'all do anything, make sure y'all share the pod with a friend, and make sure you guys are rating us and the Going for Two Network on podcasts if you're listening on Apple, and just make sure you share on Spotify or wherever you might be listening. Danny, take us out, brother.
You can find me on the Twitter on the Bird app at MadAds14 while it's still free. Because if Elon comes here and start charging, they're gonna have to find me someone paying it to me. That'll never happen. I got enough bills. D. We'll see the people next week. Yeah, we're here next week. Nothing's happening.
People, make sure y'all go bump that Punk album by Young Thug. Go listen to that new Jack Harlow album, Come Home, The Kids Miss You. That thing banging. Go listen to that IDK. It's an album called Simple, produced by K Tronada. Shout out K Tronada. I like the K Tronada vibes. Make sure y'all go bump that new Ella May. She back out here. It's not a bad album. I'm still on that Pusha T vibe. And of course, Future, he got a great album too.
Oh, I forgot about Future's album. All right.
Yeah, Future got some heat on that.
Peace.